Alright, we're back at it on this 1955 Chevy chassis transplant build. We're going to start off with getting this passenger side fender back in shape and mounted like we did yesterday on the driver's side. And then see what else brings us to do today. Alright, let's get on it. Added a little more weight to this guy before I left yesterday to see if we can get the curvature of the fender really to stick to the emblem. So we'll get that off and see how it turned out. I think we did alright. Should be good enough for who it's for. Alright, that's pretty good. Tragedy averted. We'll scrape off a little excess of that glue. Once it's down we can get at it, but should be good to go. So that's kind of what I'm going for. We got a lot of solid metal here. There's some solid metal there we can tie the door skin into. We'll clean all this out and fold a piece underneath here to tie into the floor and support it. Alright, I think we can make that work. Come off this so we can weld into the door hinge where it's nice and solid. We'll get into there, we'll get into this, we'll get into this nice edge here. Probably clean some of this off and pound this up and get that up in there. So I'm thinking I might have got ahead of myself a little here explaining kind of how I do this if I was watching this. How do you get from this like wrinkly piece of paper with some squiggly lines to, you know, a nice piece of metal that almost fits? Basically the way I've always done it is I kind of guess with cardboard, try to put bends where I think they need to be, But really what I do with a marker is just draw the inverse of what I need if I need more material, you know, out here. So that's kind of what I did to get more material out here for this bend, and then I was a little short up here to fit where the door goes, so I know I needed about a 1/2 inch, so I added, you know, that, so that when I traced it out and cut it, you know, basically I added just by eye, you know, a 1/2 inch to there. There's where my other bend is. Added the 1/2 inch here, you know, for that bend, and then this one I was able to do because that was the first one I marked up. So that's just how I do it. And I mean, it's only metal. You can add more, you can subtract more, or just start over if you need to. I mean, this is just scrap 16 gauge that I have laying around that was paid for by another project long ago. So alright, let's get it back on the truck. This brake's pretty cool. I picked this up at auction. It was at my work, actually. I think I ended up paying about 900 bucks for it, which sounds kind of expensive, but I used a Harbor Freight, you know, $150 brake for years, and this one, I've used it for years at work, and it's really nice and heavy. It's got, you know, the removable fingers for doing like boxes and stuff for like radiator shrouds, and you know, today I didn't have to do anything because I kind of thought about how I was doing it, you know, take any of these out to make room, but sometimes you do. It's a really nice, you know, brake. It works with your foot, locks down, releases. It's fully adjustable, you know, height wise, and it's a really nice piece of machinery. Bailey makes really good stuff, so I kind of splurged a little, and it's been more than useful. Love it. Pretty cool tool to have. Using a Hypertherm 380. I actually just picked up this machine as a second backup machine last week. I couldn't pass the deal up. It's the exact machine that I've used for about 10 years. I got another one that I use on my portable cart that usually lives under the bench, but the cords, and you know, you can see I've repaired the air hose, and the ground is getting all beat up, so couldn't pass this deal up for, you know, another 600 bucks on Marketplace for another guy said he used it for a half hour and then it sat under his bench for 10 years. The consumables were still sitting in the side cabinet in the factory Hypertherm tubes, so I knew it didn't have a lot of use. Thing runs like brand new, so happy to have another machine. I don't know if I'll end up selling my old one or just keep two of them just because they're convenient to have and kind of a pain to move around airlines and power around the shop. But good tool to have if you don't have a plasma cutter. They make lots of cheap ones that you can get off Amazon that aren't, you know, a nice name brand like Hypertherm. They've been around for a long time, obviously. In my opinion, probably one of the best, if not second best machines. But check them out. Cuts metal like butter. One more thing on the plasma cutters. This machine, with like worn out, terrible consumables and no care to dry air at all, it will cut 1/4 inch plate all day long. If you put a new electrode, a new tip on it, it'll clean cut 3/8. So real good high power machine. It's a 27 amp machine, I believe. Works awesome. For welding today, I'm using a Miller 211 auto set. I don't ever use the auto set function. It just doesn't work for me. I'm not comfortable. It's a waste of time. But for doing like tin and sheet metal and stuff, I'm down in the 2 to 3 and 20 to 30. 1/4 inch plate, you're up 4 to 5, you know, and 45 to 50 on the wire speed. It's a 230 volt machine. It's kind of nice. It's got the other cords that you can plug it in for 110. This twists locks off in case I gotta throw it in the truck and go somewhere that doesn't have convenient 230 power to do a quick little repair. I got a bunch of different tanks that I use on and off. This cart has been hit by race cars and pushed in between trucks. It's kind of beat up, but it gets the job done. Good little welder. I'd buy another one tomorrow. More of this black goo inside the cab corner. That's what's smelling. I gotta figure out how to get this like syrup gas stuff off this truck, because the shop just smells horrible every time I walk in the morning, and it's like that headache smell. I got most of it out of the cab yesterday, but I think this cab corner is going to get replaced anyway, so hopefully all this junk will get out of here, because it was just like seeping from behind the driver's seat for how many years this truck sat. We'll get her.
This piece here, I kind of had to trim it up so it's semi-square. And when I jack this up, this will come in a little bit because the body's a little bent on the lift. So should be able weld up there too. And up there like I did on the other side to keep it from failing. Alright, that should do this lower bracket. We got that welded. We got some weld where it touches right there. And then I threw a little spacer in there like I did on the other side to tie that mount in the middle there. So, should be good. Let's get this bolt in here and lower it down and see that the door opens fine. Alright, that's pretty good. I think that's all fixed. Bang out that dent up on the top. Drop this thing down. See if we can get this to line up a little better and should be good to go.